project is by design. Even the Jubilee government knows it is a bad project. It will turn Murang'a, Garissa, Ukambani, and Tana River Delta regions into deserts in 5 years of implementation. This is according to technical and feasibility reports that are also available to the very government implementing the project. Here is how it is designed to work. 1. A 3-meter diameter tunnel will be dug high up in the Aberdare range to connect all the 7 rivers to Thika's Ndakaini Dam. A shaft will then be dug from the surface to convey water to the tunnel beneath. It is estimated that some of these ducts will be up to 250 meters deep. The 3-meter diameter tunnel will run for 11.8 kilometers in the first phase. The tunnel in phase 2 is expected to be much longer and the ducts much deeper. The project is being implemented by the Athi River Service Board and is financed by the World Bank. It will cost an estimated 6.8 billion Kenya shillings. But the World Bank has classified it as a Category A project. It means it is identified as one with potential for large-scale conversion or degradation of natural habitats and significant resettlement or other major social impacts, among others. The late Honorable John Michuki, and may the Lord rest his soul in peace, had raised objection to this project just before he died. Remember, Michuki was our Minister for Environment. He is reported to have spoken to the people of Kanyanyaini location in Kangema constituency, where he said, in Kikuyu, and you already translated in English, he said, "You will only construct these small tunnels over my dead body." The Murang'a County Assembly has since raised serious concerns about this project. The Assembly mandated its Water, Energy, Forestry, Environment, Natural Resources and Corporate Management Committee to investigate the project. The Assembly adopted the report of the committee, which resolved that the implementation of the whole project should be suspended until all matters of concern are fully addressed. This conclusion was reached after considering only the effects of the project on Murang'a County. If one considers the project's effects on the rest of the Tana River's basin, then it is clear that this project is totally outrageous. The concerns over the project are as follows. One, the participation of public was so limited that members of the Murang'a County Assembly have termed the whole project as secretive. Public sensitization was only carried out in 6 towns that lie on the tunnel path, namely Ichichi, Kanyanyaini, Makomboki, Mairi, Kangari, Kinyona, and Gacharagi. No efforts were made to get the views of most of the Murang'a people, particularly in those areas that already have serious water challenges, like Makuyu, Idanga, Kandara, Kambiti, Kakuzi, and Kimoroi. People living on the rest of the Tana River Basin were not contacted at all. The people in Garissa, Ukambani, and the Tana River and Tana Delta regions rely on the Tana River as their sole source of water. A project like the Northern Collector Tunnel cannot be legitimately conceptualized, designed, and commissioned without taking into consideration the views of the people along the Tana and considering the effects of the project on their lives. The project, therefore, goes against the Constitution of Kenya, which states that public participation is one of the national values and principles of leadership that must be complied with. It also goes against the provisions of the Environmental Management Coordination Act and the Environmental Impact Assessment and Audit Regulations that requires the conduct of proper public participation before any project is designed and commenced. Jubilee has ignored the right to public participation of the people of the Tana River Basin and continues to date to implement this project as a secret. Jubilee is also secretive about this project that it does not appear anywhere in the administration's list of achievements. And a matter like this should even have been brought to Parliament. The same Jubilee that has made it a common practice to commission projects that had already been commissioned by the Grand Coalition government so as to look productive has chosen not to launch this particular project. Remember, last month, the Deputy President went to Kwale to launch a health center which I had already launched 4 years ago, and they had to remove the plaque and then produce a new plaque with his name. This one here they have not launched. Another concern is that this project was designed, commissioned, and construction commenced before an environmental impact assessment report was prepared and before a license was issued by the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA. The information we have shows that the project had been designed by the end of the year 2013. The tender for a contractor was published in March 2014, and an agreement signed with the contractor on 1st of September 2014. A payment of Kenya shillings 1.3 billion was also paid to the contractor in October. But the terms of reference for the conduct of the environmental impact assessment were not approved till July 2014, and the EAI report was not approved till November 2014. The license by NEMA was not issued until February 2015. Jubilee conceptualized, commissioned, and commenced construction of a project without establishing the impact of the project on the environment. This is unconstitutional, criminal, and a blatant abuse of the power and a grievous derogation of the rights of the people affected. The assessment itself turned out to be a scandal. It turned out that when the assessment was being done, there was a shortage of critical important data without which a project assessment cannot be conducted. Some of that unavailable data is the hydrological mapping of the underground water system in the Murang'a and how that system affects the larger Murang'a area and the rest of the Tana River Basin. The Murang'a County Assembly Environmental Committee is on record complaining about this issue and saying that, and I quote, "It is surprising that geotechnical investigation for a project located almost entirely underground has not been exhausted by the time the contract was awarded." It turns out that In fact, no license has been obtained from the Water Resource Management Authority, that's WARMA, for this project to be commissioned. The contractor of this project is therefore digging blindly into the mountain, boring tunnels that will likely have very adverse effects on the underground water system of the Tana River Basin. One of these effects is that it will lead to the drainage of underground streams and aquifers. The Environmental Impact Assessment Report recognized this danger and said, and I quote, tunneling activities may lead to alterations of underground drainage and fracture flow. Studies have shown that tunnels can lead there's something wrong here. This is gone.
Yes, rising to the temperature. Looks like we have to use the hard copy. The iPad is reacting to the temperature, so we'll have to resort to the hard copy just a moment.
Yeah, this is, it's okay. This place is too hot. Maybe that's the reason. Well, we can continue. Environmental experts say that such drainage damage to the underground hydrology is irreversible. This effect will be compounded by the fact that this project will lead to severe loss of water on the Tana River, which will lead to drying up of both ground and underground rivers and streams in Garissa, Ukambani, and Tana River Delta. The effects will be so severe that the larger Muranga, Garissa, and Ukambani and Tana River Delta region will be deserts within 5 years of this project being implemented. Other expected results from the damage to the hydrology of these areas is that in Muranga alone, 77 species of aqua life, which includes 7 species of fish, are expected to be extinguished. The loss of water is also expected to result in the lowering of water flowing into Masinga, Kamburu, Gitaru, Kindaruma, and Kiambere dams, thereby also compromising Kenya's generation of hydroelectric power. In Muranga, 4 hydropower stations on Maragua River, known as Wanji and Mesco projects, operated by Kengen, and 5 private generating stations shall become completely unavailable with these projects. Environmental experts are also raising concern about the effect of tunneling the mountain in topography as unstable as Muranga. Muranga is listed in our national disaster profile as one of the most vulnerable areas in Kenya to landslides. And I remember on 2 occasions I had to go to Murang'a to rescue people from landslides. In fact, the feasibility study of this project also found that the Murang'a area records seismic activity. The consulting engineers have warned that this danger of landslides and seismic activity can have an impact on the structural integrity of the tunnels as well as on the Kaini Dam, and this could result in a catastrophe. Once completed, this project will double the amount of water flowing to Nairobi. Yet Nairobi has not been prepared to process this extra water. Current estimates are that Nairobi's drainage sewage system can only cover 20% of the city's waste. Up to 80% of the city's waste ends up in Nairobi River. This will soon be 180%. And you who live in Nairobi have had to deal with the flooding in Nairobi whenever there's a little bit more rain around the city. This is because of the poor drainage. And as that construction work is going on up there, nothing is being done downstream to cope with that additional amount of water coming into the city. Also ignored is the effect of this project on the ecosystem of the Abadeas. The Abadeas is one of the water tunnels that are threatened by deforestation. Water generation capacity of the Abadea has been going down. This project needed to make provision for the protection of the Abadea forest before thinking of taking even more water from it. I therefore wish to state the following. 1. President Uhuru Kenyatta needs to address the people living in the Tana River Basin and tell them why this government is proceeding with the implementation of this project in such secrecy. 2. The President must put an immediate stop to this project until A. Proper public participation is conducted in all areas of Murang'a, in Garissa, Ukambani, and the Tana River Delta region. B. Comprehensive audit is conducted on all environmental concerns raised and a proper environmental impact assessment made based in all the necessary data, and in particular the hydrological survey of the underground water systems. 3. The World Bank needs to address itself to the people of Kenya and tell them why it approved the funding of a project and commenced release of funds to the contractor before an environmental impact assessment was done, which was contrary to the World Bank Group Environment, Health and Safety Guidelines. 4. The Governor of Murang'a must immediately withdraw the consent of the Murang'a County Government from the Joint Technical Consensus document entered into 5 months ago with Athi Water Services Board. This consensus is a fraud on the people of Murang'a, as it deceives them that the issues affecting their environment have been resolved, when the truth is that they have not been resolved. B. Extremely selfish, since it ignores that fate of the communities downstream and outside Murang'a County, which will be equally affected by the project. 5. A consultative panel of stakeholders must be immediately set up to bring together representatives of all the communities living in the Tana River Basin, together with the governmental agencies relevant to the issues arising and local and international non-governmental organizations dealing with environmental issues. 6. The President must also give Kenyans a direct assurance that he has no conflict of interest in this matter between his commercial interests and the interests of the people of Kenya, and that he is not silent about this project because of that conflict of interest. In the interest of all the communities along the Tana River Basin, President Kenyatta must stop digging the tunnels. These are tunnels of death to our people and our country. End of the statement. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
In comprehensive, any questions?
Yes. My name is Ken Lafonso. Just wanted to know, I don't know if you understood the study of the number of families in Moranga, the whole area, number of families that will be affected once it goes in. And people are arguing that Nairobi desperately needs water.
So do you want to ask one question at a time?
No, let me just ask. Let me just ask.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to know, is there an alternative way Nairobi can harvest water, and from where?
Yes. First, the population is available, the statistics, the data.
The bigger data that we give them.
You are going to be given is a comprehensive report on what you just summarized here. So you will get the details of the people who are affected, both in Moranga, in Okambani, in Parumeru, in the lower Tana Delta area of Garissa and Tana River up to the Indian Ocean area. Yes, Nairobi needs water. That goes without question. But there are other ways of dealing with that issue. The issue really has been to harvest water by construction of dams. This is the practice now around the world. As cities continue to grow, you go into the area of harvesting water through dams. You can see, for example, there's Nairobi Dam here, which we are trying to rehabilitate. It was constructed during the colonial days for the purposes of harvesting rainwater. And this can be done in several other parts around the city. And you can be able to harvest sufficient water for the needs of the city. And also recycling of the water that has already been used. You see, we are wasting a lot of water in the city of Nairobi, and the population continues to grow. We need to be more economic with the usage of water around us. There's a lot of water that can be recycled for use in the city itself. And then we need to also address the issue of drainage, which I've already mentioned, around Nairobi itself, as we going forward. Yes, madam? Huh?
Come forward, please.
Can you come forward so that I can see your face and hear your voice also?
This is not the fact that the city have the next year project where taken into consideration. Why did you choose Raila County? Why?
You know, you can. I mean, Murang'a County is part of Kenya. So if there's a problem in Murang'a, it must become a Kenyan problem. And I am a leader, not of a particular part of Kenya. All Kenyans, when there's a problem, we are concerned and we must bring them out. That is the work of a leader of the opposition. So I know that leaders in government cannot talk about this project, but I can speak on behalf of the people of Murang'a, and I have been petitioned by the people of Murang'a to talk about this issue, and that's why I'm raising them. I know that the county assembly has been boxed into submission through a lot of pressure, but if you read the minutes of the discussions in the county assembly itself, the reports of the committee of the assembly, they have been very much opposed to this. If you read, for example, what John Misuki said, and he said it in Kikuyu, I've just given you a summary of it in English. He called them the tunnels of death, and that it will only be constructed over his dead body. Now that he's dead, I guess Jubilee is now saying he's no longer there. But I will speak on his behalf in his death, that this is something that should not be done without consultation with the people of Murang'a. It is the responsibility of the opposition to hold the government under check and expose the wrongdoings and compliment them when they are doing well. So this is my work. What they do is their business. That's not my duty. I'm not supposed to be doing. The doing is supposed to be the government. But my responsibility is to expose the wrongdoing and hold the government under check, on check. This is what I'm doing. So if they don't, shauri yao. That's none of my business. Sisi tumeongea leo juu ya mambo ya mazingira, uhifadhi ya mazingira ambayo ni muhimu zaidi. Vile unavyojua, hata wakati nimekuwa waziri mkuu wa taifa letu, niliongea sana juu ya mambo ya hifadhi ya mazingira, haswa zile vinara ya maji katika taifa letu ambao ni vitano. Nimeongea juu ya Mau, nimeongea juu ya mlima Kenya, nimeongea juu ya mlima Abadeas, juu ya Cherangani na mlima Elgon. Hizo ni vinara vya maji ya taifa letu. Na tusipoziangalia na tusipozichunga vizuri, nchi yetu itakuja kuwa ni jangwa. Hiyo ndio sababu nimeongea leo juu ya mambo ya Murang'a, kwa sababu iko katika eneo ya Abadeas. Na vile unavyojua, kuna miti ambazo zinatokea Abadeas ambazo zinatembea katika eneo kubwa ya taifa letu ikielekea katika bahari ya Hindi huko. Kwa hivyo ukifanya chochote kule Abadeas, unajua inaweza kuathiri maisha ya watu kule Ukambani, upande mwingine ya Meru, upande zingine za Garissa, mpaka huko upande wa Tana River. Ndio sababu leo tunatahadharisha Wakenya kuambia kwamba kuna mradi ambayo unatekelezwa na serikali upande wa Murang'a, ambao wananchi wa eneo hiyo wenyewe wamepinga, wameongea juu ya hii mradi. Sasa vile vile nimenukuu waziri wa zamani wa mazingira marehemu John Michuki, ambaye alipinga vikali kabisa hii mradi. Akasema hiyo ni mashimo au mahandaki ya kifo, na akasema zitajengwa juu ya kaburi yake. Nafikiri wakina Jubilee sasa unasema jamaa ameshaenda, naweza kujenga juu ya kaburi yake. Lakini nimesema mimi, wakati sasa kifo imemnyamazisha rafiki yangu John Michuki, nitaongea kwa niaba yake kutetea haki ya wakazi wa eneo ya Murang'a. Najua bunge ya kaunti ya Murang'a imepinga vikali hii mradi, lakini wamelazimishwa, wametishwa kubadilisha maoni yao na kupitisha hizi. Hata shirika ya mazingira ya taifa letu vile vile imesukumwa, lakini wao wenyewe walikuwa wamepinga kabisa. lakini maneno imeenda mahakama, na vile unavyojua jamaa hutumia mahakama kupitisha mambo yao. Wamepata ile uamuzi ya bandia ambaye haijaangalia maisha ya manufaa ya eneo ya hizo. Kwa hivyo leo hii tunawaambia serikali wasimamishe, wafanye ushirikiano na Wakenya wote ambayo wanaishi katika eneo hizi ambayo maisha yao itahatarishwa. Tumeonyesha vile vile hata kutengenezwa kwa stima itaathirika. Manake unavijua mabwawa ya stima ya maji kama Masinga, kama Kamburu, kama Kiambere, kama Kindaruma, kama Gitaru, yote yatakuwa affected. Kwa hivyo sisi hatusemi hii ati tunatafuta umaarufu hatutafuti kupande hii au pande ile nyingine. Sisi tunataka kuona kama maendeleo imefanywa kwa njia ambayo inaleta manufaa, sio inaleta athari kwa Wakenya.
Francis, you have a question? Okay.
Kila mtu ameridhika. Shukran. Asante sana. Wajana mambo. Sema mambo ya